bit warm enough for you. Hi everyone, it's Johnny Seed here again. If I look a bit red in the face, as I've just been sat in the garden, we're enjoying an unusually hot day here today in the north of England. I've got on the internet, it's 21 degrees, but it's perfect weather for sitting outside in the garden, well, in my case, backyard, and enjoying a nice warm ale. So I'm going to do a bit of a haul video today. I'm going to be picking up some of the stuff that I've bought over the last month or two, mostly from charity shops and the market. I have a budget of about £5 tops, but most of these were £1 or £2 each, with a couple of exceptions. So I might keep these on actually. What do you think? If you're wondering why your favourite YouTubers wear sunglasses all the time, it's because you can't see them looking into the viewfinder. Top tip, or reading from an auto cue. Anyway, so yeah, whew, it's been quite warm. Hope it's toasty and hot where you are. Perfect sitting outside weather. So, excuse me, I'm just going to have another sip of warm ale. This isn't anything fancy, I'll tell you what it is. A spa near me. It's just the worst selection of beers in the world. So, I got what I could. Anyway, yeah, so vinyl haul pickups. I'll start off with the best of the bunch, really. Wow. Found a Frank Zappa album in the wild. Shake Your Booty on vinyl. This is the 1986 digital remaster. It's a double album. Now, I paid £10 for this, so £5 for a disc. Now, the sleeve isn't in the best condition, as you can probably see. I think someone was enjoying it rather too much. It got stuck together, or they spilled something on it. And it's missing one of the lyric inserts. That's just on a rather grubby plain sleeve, and that's what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be two of them. So I only got one of the plain inserts, but God, I couldn't believe it when I saw this. It's the first time ever I've seen a Frank Zappa album out in the wild. This was off the market. And a guy who does house clearances, I think, and he must have known what he had because he'd put a tenner price tag on it, and normally his stuff is normally £2 or £3. But I didn't hesitate, I just grabbed it. I'm trying to get as much Zappa on vinyl as I can, even though it's probably going to be a very expensive hobby. I looked at this up, I don't think you can get this for less than about 20 quid on eBay anyway, so. But yeah, if you're not familiar with this album, you're not familiar with Frank Zappa, this is probably not a bad place to start, really. I think Frank Zappa's one of the artists where it's difficult, you know, if you try to recommend something to someone who's never heard him before, it's difficult to know where to start, because like he just covers such a wide range of styles. But yeah, this is his late 70s and his late 70s pomp. So I mean, check this out. If you're aware of Frank Zappa, check this out for side 3. Baby Snakes, Trying to Grow a Chin, City of Tiny Lights, Dancing Fool, and Jewish Princess. Boom, 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 hit after hit. It's also got on here Bobby Brown, Rubber Shirt, Jones Crushers, Great Flakes, I Have Been in You. I mean, there's Yo Mama, there's a 13-minute version of Yo Mama on side 4. But yeah, one of his most accessible albums, I should say, you know. I'm gonna go into more detail about Zappa in another video, but just check this out for a band as a lineup. So we have obviously FZ on lead guitar, with Adrian Belew on rhythm guitar and vocals, Tommy Miles on keyboards, Peter Wolf on keyboards, Patrick O'Hearn on bass, Terry Bozzio on drums, Ed Mann on percussion, David Ocker on clarinets, Napoleon Murphy Brock on backing vocals, Andre Lewis on backing vocals, Randy Thornton on backing vocals, and Dave Moir on backing vocals. I mean, wow, what a lineup. So, yeah, I definitely would recommend this as a starting point to anyone who's never listened to any Zappa. You know, and if you don't like this, you've got a million, well, you've got probably 50 or 60 other albums you could probably start off with. So, yeah, really happy to find this. Next up we have Bite by Altered Images, not to be confused with the Ned's Atomic Dustbin album of the same name. I don't think the cover would cause much confusion. So yeah, this is their last album. I've not heard the other two. I think this is the last of 3. But I've heard some of their singles. Altered Images were a bit of a jangly indie pop band from Scotland from the very, very early 80s. I remember their song Happy Birthday being a big hit, and for years I would put them down as being a bit of a novelty band, really. I just thought they had the one Happy Birthday, and there was another one as well, which the name escapes me in a minute, but I remember re-listening to that last year and thinking, actually, this has probably got a bit more to it than I initially thought. You know, they weren't just a gimmicky, you know, one hit wonder. So when I saw this for a couple of pounds, I thought I'd grab it. This is a bit more polished than I was expecting. Still good, don't get me wrong. Obviously they had some record company money behind it. They had Mike Chapman, who was one half of Chin and Chapman, who wrote a load of the glam rock tunes, and he also produced some Blondie albums in the late 70s, and Tony Visconti, who of course produced Bowie. The best track on it is probably Don't Talk to Me About Love, which is the single, but Bring Me Closer is really good. That's the one that's probably got the most Blondie-ish sound to it. But yeah, if you like a bit of slick, polished early 80s pop with a female vocalist, then I would recommend Altered Images' Bait. Right, next up we have a band which I've been aware of the name since the 80s. I remember used to see this band's name in HMV in Blackpool, and there was never any records. You know, like you used to have those plastic sort of inserts with the name of the band on as you're going through the racks, and this was always, I always remember the name because it's quite a funny name, and but there was never any records there. The band is Red Lorry Yellow Lorry. I've said that very specifically. Red Lorry Yellow Lorry. Paint Your Wagon. They're a band from Leeds. They were formed in 1981, and this is their second album from 1986. It's got a bit of a Joy Division vibe, a bit of a fall vibe to it if you're not aware of them. It's kind of, you know, 80s indie. This was released on Red Rhino Records and distributed by The Cartel, which is where Rough Trade, I think, used to distribute their records through. So it's okay, yeah, it's pretty good, this. Now, the only gripe I have about it is the relentless drums. It came out in 1986, and there's something about 1986 where just in the studio, like, everybody just decided that, yeah, let's just push the drums up to the fucking max. They're just so loud and relentless. There's actually a drummer in this band, but you would be... there must be some sort of drum machine going on as well, but yeah, they're just so loud and just pounding. But the tunes underneath it are really good. It's kind of like I say, gothic-y, Joy Division-ish guitar indie.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more
gated snares.
The opening track, Walking on Your Hands, is really good.
Are you walking on your hands? Are you walking on your hands? Are you walking on your hands?
Yeah, a bit of new fast automatic daffodils, if you are aware of those. That was, I think, their single. The big song came out in '89, was it, or '88? Bit of Half Man Half Biscuit influence as well, I should imagine. Industrial groove, I think, is one of the words I'd use to describe this. So yeah, chuffed to pick this up, really. Bit of 80s indie, always a good thing. This is produced and directed by the Lorries on there. I don't know if you can see that. They did apparently toy with changing the names of the Lorries, because that's what everyone called them. You know, like typical 80s indie band, we got the Poppies and Stuffies and the Lorries. But I don't think it stuck. I think they kept the name. Red Lorry Yellow Lorry. Oh, the track Heads on Fire. Definitely recommend that one. Yeah, check that one out. Right, a brace of albums next of bands that I'm aware of, but I've not heard this album by them. That makes sense. So I know the bands, but these are records that I'd not heard before. So blindish buys, or at least very, very short-sighted buys anyway. Renaissance. Renaissance. This is Azure Door. I really like Renaissance, a band that I've only just discovered recently in the last couple of years. Ashes is Burning is a phenomenal track. I really like that one. And I think they had a bit of a minor hit with a song called Northern Lights. Folk prog kind of stuff. This is them going into... This is 1979. This album is from 1979, yes. It's grown on me a little bit. I wasn't blown away on first listen, but on repeated listens, it's definitely, I'm definitely liking it a lot more. Yeah, it's starting to creep into that little, like, 80s-ish sort of sound, whereas before they were a lot more kind of acoustic and electric guitars. There's a lot more keyboards on this, but the vocals just shine through. What's the name of the singer? There's going to be so many outtakes from this one, it's unreal. I think I've had the video yips in the last couple of weeks. I just found it so difficult to actually sit down and record stuff. I don't know what it is. I want Renaissance. I want the Renaissance band. Annie Haslam. Got there eventually. Annie Haslam, the singer. Phenomenal voice. One of my favourite singers. Pure sounding, belting voice. Definitely the best thing about this album. Although the tunes are good as well, but yeah, it's when she sings really lifts all the tracks that she's on. Some of the other guys sing a few of them. But yeah, it's good. I like. Alright, so next up, Boston, their second album. I knew I'd forget the name of it. What's it called again? Don't Look Back. So I've not heard this one before. I was aware of their first album, the self-titled Boston album, which I really like. This one, yeah, it's more the same, but less good. Less things pop out, if you know what I mean. Less sort of standout tunes. I've listened to this a couple of times now, and apart from the last two tracks, Don't Be Afraid and Used to Be Bad News, I don't know, it just seems to be just sort of like someone doing a cover version of the, you know, like a pastiche of the first album, really. It's kind of more the same, but less sort of quality in the songwriting. I know there was some issues, I did read up online, there was some issues where Tom Scholz apparently was not happy with it being released as it was, felt like it could do with a bit more work, and he's probably right, I should imagine, you know, a few more weeks or months in the studio perfecting the songs. I mean, I don't know, if you're really massive big fan of this album, I might be missing something, but I don't know, it just didn't grab me in the way that the first album has grabbed me in the past. And I was shocked when it took them 8 years to do another album after this. I mean, after all, there was some sort of record label shenanigans, but I think that's shocking at 8 years. I mean, you know, unless, I don't think they were on tour for that long. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, nothing really jumped out on the first listen or second listen as being like a, you know, standout track. But I only paid a couple of pounds for it anyway. Next up, Rainbow. Next up we have Rainbow, Down to Earth. Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, his fuck you to the rest of Deep Purple.
That's not really like proper music, is it? It's just this sort of plinky plonk 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 plink.
Great album, great band, really like their singles, pop metal, I guess you might call it. Now just to clarify, Richie Blackmore is probably my third favourite guitar player of all time. I'm sure there are aficionados out there who will say, no, so-and-so technically better, or, you know, whatever. I just like Richie Blackmore, the way he plays guitar, you know. And if you're wondering, the other two are Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix. Stevie Ray Vaughan's quite good at, but he's something I'm probably going to have to listen to a bit more. I've had a little bit of Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I was blown away. You know, and I think if anybody, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say if anybody would come close to Jimi Hendrix, he probably would have been Stevie Ray Vaughan, although that's just someone who's only heard bits of Stevie Ray Vaughan. Anyway, Rainbow, it's got the two singles on here, All Night Long, great tune, dodgy lyrics, and Since You've Been Gone. Something I discovered while I was listening to this and doing a bit of research is Since You've Been Gone was a cover version by Russ Ballard. Worth checking out, I've written down here. And it is, yeah, give it a listen. It sounds very similar to the Rainbow version, apart from the middle eight. So, yeah. Track 2, Ice to the World, I've written down here, whoa, space synth epic. Produced by Roger Glover. Roger Glover, who was kicked out of Deep Purple by Richie Blackmore and then invited to be in Rainbow. So. Right, getting towards the last couple now. This is something that I picked up from a charity shop. There was a whole series of these with 2 years apiece. This is a Reader's Digest compilation, 72 to 73. They had like, I think it started in like 63, 64 or something and went up to, I think it was maybe 10 or 12 in the whole series, but they had them all, but nothing else grabbed me. This is the one I wanted because it's probably the era that's got the most stuff on it that I actually really like. I'll just read out some of the stuff that's on here. It's got Son of My Father on it by Chicory Tip, Without You by Nilsson, Come What May by Vicky Leandros. Don't know him or her. Rocket Man, of course, by Elton John. Mouldy Old Dough by Lieutenant Pigeon. And probably one of the first only acts to get into the top. What did he get to now? Got in the top 5. So Mouldy Old Dough got got to number 3 in the UK. Now I don't know if this is the only mother and son combo band to get into the top 5 or top 10, if anybody knows anything else. But yeah, this had the mum of the guitar player, I think it is, on playing the piano on it, on Mouldy Old Dough. What else? You're a Lady by Peter Skillen. Fuck Peter Skillen, I can't stand that song. I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing and get Tooth Decay. Part of the Union by the Strobes. Not really into that. Sylvia, okay, by Focus. Yep, good. Welcome Home by Peters and Lee. Not a big fan of Peters and Lee at all. They seemed to be on TV every week when I was like growing up in the 70s. Yesterday Once More by the Carpenters is alright. Monster Mash by Bobby Pickett and the Crypt Kickers. Really good to have that on vinyl. Ballroom Blitz. The one track that isn't on my sweet best of cheapola CD. So I've really got to have that one. And Caroline by Status Quo. It says here, electronically reprocessed for stereo. It says here, this stereo record can be played on mono reproducers, provided either a compatible or stereo cartridge wired for mono is fitted. Recent equipment may already be fitted with a suitable cartridge. If in doubt, consult your dealer. I'm assuming they mean cartridge or record dealer, not drug dealer. So. Right, and finally, Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. My first Michael Jackson album on vinyl. No, I've not seen the recent documentary. I'm not going to touch anything to do with anything rather than music at the minute. So, you know, forget about we can forget about that for the moment, anyways. But yes, I was absolutely blown away by this. The production, the sound on it. It's Quincy Jones. He just sounds so full. So you know, there's so much going on, and you can hear it all. It's so crisp and it's just so, you know, the bass is fantastic. This is essentially a disco album. I'm sure a lot of people have already heard it, but I mean, I'd not heard the whole album all the way through. Starts off with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. In fact, side 1, you could just the whole side you could just leave on at a party and people dancing. Rock With You, Working Day and Night, and Get on the Floor. And then it slows down a little bit on side 2, a little bit off the wall. Girlfriend, let's got some strange lyrics. Tell him what we're doing, tell him exactly what we're doing. Okay, steady on, Michael. I Can't Help It, It's the Falling in Love, and Burn This Disco Out. Wow. Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised by this. This is the album that came out just prior to Thriller. So I guess without this one, they wouldn't have been, probably Thriller wouldn't have been as big as it was. Has anyone else noticed that the verses on Off the Wall, the song Off the Wall, sound very similar to the verses on Thriller, the song Thriller? Yeah, so it takes the mood takes a bit of a dip on side 2 with tracks She's Out of My Life and Sad Song, but then it does ramp back up when it gets to I Can't Help It. I Wouldn't Help It. I Wouldn't Help It. Anyway, that was my pickups. That was my pickups from March and April of this year. Got a few more for the next video, which I need to listen to, and I will be back soon with another video. So stay tuned, and thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Woo! Woo! And boom boom. I've listened to so many records and written so many notes, I can't find them all now. So I've got to just look for them in case I've written anything of import. I don't know what I'm talking to. I'm going to chop all this out.